This is Grapplers Talk.
What is up, fans of Grapplers Talk? This is Dave coming at you with another episode each and every week. Thank you to everyone for downloading and tuning into the podcast. We appreciate everyone out there for all the continued support of the show, and we thank all the fans for downloading each and every episode on YouTube and Spotify and everywhere where you're listening. We really appreciate everyone talking to us at the events and just trying to spread the love of jujitsu around and trying to make everyone a little bit better. And I thank everyone for reaching out to me and recommending guests and all the connections that we make along the way with this jujitsu thing. It really is incredible, and even where the show has gone, it has turned into an awesome network of some amazing people. And if you've listened to past episodes, you've heard a lot of good athletes talk about some familiar things. And I'm glad to have someone on this week. Um, and before we get into our guest, and I'm gonna hold the phone for just a minute, but before we get into our guest, just a couple quick announcements. We do have our Grapplers Talk merch available, shirts, t-shirts, all that good stuff. Be checking out our Instagram page for updates on events and podcasts and all the good stuff and where we're going to be. Also, thank you to our partners over at Butterfly X for all their continued support of the show and everything that they do for us. We truly appreciate them. Go check them out on Instagram, BFX Gear, and go check out their website. They're always coming out with new gear. They got women's gear available, kids gear, rash guards, gis, belts, anything that you need. And you could even do custom orders through them. Check them out, BFX Gear on Instagram. Use our code word Grapplers Talk 10 and you'll get 10% off over there. But I'm glad to introduce somebody this week who reached out to me, and we've been talking a little bit back and forth and getting to know each other. But I'm excited to get to hear his story on Grapplers Talk. None other than Rob from Red Monkey, man. How are you doing, brother? Welcome to Grapplers Talk. Thank you for being a part of this episode.
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me. It's all
Yeah,
pleasure.
yeah, man. And I just want to kind of get into your background first. We were talking a little bit before the show. You kind of elaborated to an MMA background, so I do have to ask the question. What was your first grappling experience like? What was it? Wrestling, jujitsu, MMA? Like, what was the first experience like for you getting in there?
So the first experience, I think so at age 12, I started doing Kyokushinkai. It's one of the most contact, karate that you can do. And coming from Poland, really small town, we didn't have too many options. Even these days, I would say Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is extremely, extremely small in Poland, per se, I would say. Not even mentioning grappling. We never had grappling. So I have to take whatever I have. And my journey with MMA started with basically with the traditional karate.
Yeah.
When a couple years later, I started evolving, and let's say I was extremely lucky, and I met amazing people who train a couple other things like kickboxing, professional box, and I was able to join them and grab a little bit of their knowledge. So my whole life, I would say I was pretty much active in MMA, fitness industry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the love for MMA by itself, it's not just the fighting, but the discipline. It can teach you a lot. It can really, really guide you through life. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you're very right. And even it doesn't have to be Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but any sort of martial arts or any sort of traditional background, really teaches the kids a lot about discipline and respect and a lot of good things about themselves. It
yeah.
teaches them how to compete and be a good person in life, I feel like.
And I think so, it's gonna teach them a little bit of responsibility, you
Yeah.
know. It's you're really growing with the mixed martial art, even if it's gonna be boxing, anything. If you have the proper coach and you have the proper guidance, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's very true. And I mean, you're seeing nowadays these kids get involved in jujitsu and get involved in wrestling, and I feel like youth wrestling has never been bigger. It's just something that's growing tremendously throughout the country. Um,
honestly, I would say it's the growth of youth wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in past 7 years. I would say it's huge.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
huge because we coming from the era of old school UFC when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wasn't even that known.
yeah,
Then slowly start picking up. But like I said, with my company and supporting a lot of athletes, amount of the young, skilled, and extremely talented people is just what it's overwhelming.
yeah. And we'll definitely get into your company here in a little bit. More in detail, but how did you get tied into the jujitsu community with your company? What was the driving factor with that?
So one of the guys that I've met at the gym, and from talking to me, I'm pretty easygoing, so I would start talking to people. And this one guy, his name is Olin. Dude, I was never afraid of anyone that much like this guy. Like his presence, the guy it's walking mountain. And when I'm saying mountain, he's not like huge, but he's solid, pure muscle.
Yeah,
And we start talking about couple fitness things, and he was like, I'm the veteran, and I'm being involved with the veterans agencies that be helping people with the PTSD and depression. At the same time, I'm Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I trained one time with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy from Russia, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like that at all. And we're talking about at some point in my life, I was walking around 270, 280 pounds. And, this guy was from Russia and he was probably 150 pounds, if that. I never felt so humiliated by anyone like I was that day doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He showed me that the size doesn't really matter at all. He showed me that things for like 3 hours straight that I was like, how you can even manage your weight so good that the guy like me who can lift you in the air and throw you to the whole hallway, I cannot do anything.
yeah,
So it's kind of was intriguing, and I start looking into it. But when you getting busy with life and you have to jump a lot of obstacles, the last thing you're gonna think is any type of mixed martial art, because it's also affecting your finances, time. Then you have kids, and it's getting worse and worse.
absolutely. Yeah,
So I kind of stayed on the sides, looking and still loving mixed martial art. And when I met this guy, he was like, you should try it. And we still in the negotiation phase to drag me into the gym because I'm still huge on boxing and kickboxing. I do love the stand-up game. I think so
yeah,
for me personally, it's more rewarding. But whatever you like, that's on you. And basically, when I start my company with the whole thing going on, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, meeting this guy, they kind of asked me if I could do something to prevent all of the issues they're having at their, gyms. So basically, this is how it started. Like they had some idea, and I was like, you know what, let me try it. I train the people with a lot of skin issues because of them abusing enhancement drugs, but you guys also suffering from different stuff that I might be able to solve. So basically, this is how it started. Like there was nothing wow. There was not me sitting in the corner and trying to figure out, what to do with my life. It was kind of like, you know what? I might be useful because if you're gonna look at the construction in general, it's not extremely awarding, field.
yeah,
Nobody really appreciates you. They're gonna appreciate you for the first 15 minutes after they're gonna see the bathroom done or the floors done.
yeah,
Moment they're gonna give you a check, guess what? They don't even remember your name.
yeah,
So when I was doing this for probably 16 years, I would say, it drained me. It emotionally drained me. Like there was nothing rewarding in doing that. So basically, this one day when they asked me for a favor, if I can invent spray, invent lotion, or invent soap, or invent anything that would prevent and help them out, I was like, you know what? Let me try it. Let's see what's gonna happen. And I was lucky enough that having pretty good background in nutrition, thanks to the one of the biggest, I would say, group of fitness people. It's called Camel. I don't know if you ever heard about him.
Mm.
The guy who is running that is phenomenal. The guy is all about natural way, using supplements and fixing a lot of your health issues. So a lot of knowledge I was able to absorb from being on the forums like that. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad for my journey with all of those kind of different people.
Yeah, definitely. What was this your first dabble in business, or have you ever tried to get involved in any sort of other businesses in the past?
Nah, man, that was the first time, and I think so. When you're crossing the 40 years old, you're just kind of standing in the middle, like, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
So with everything going in my life, I'm like, you know what? We just moved from different state. My partner, we moved here so she can proceed with her career and get better. And I was like, you know what? Her new beginning, it could be mine, but it took me a little bit of time because it was the era of the COVID, all of the restrictions and stuff like that. So I was still like kind of postponing everything. It's you're thinking what to do, you're looking at the market, and it's always, yeah, this is not gonna make you money, this is gonna take too long. And just this one day, it was like, okay, maybe this is what I should do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how sometimes those hobbies or sometimes those ideas turn into something realistic and turn into a real thing. But I also want to talk to you what the trial and error process was like with trying to create the right type of soap or the right type of product that was going to help and do what they wanted to do. What was the trial and error like for you?
So, like every single business, you're literally starting either in the garage or shed. I'm still there. Let's be honest. I'm still there. Um, yeah, like I don't have endorsement of huge companies. I'm not with the big pharma, big corporations. I'm doing everything by myself, literally by myself, from packaging, sleeves, bottles, everything. What is done in the company was literally done by me. But going back how it's all started, I did the first batch on the kind of like a cake pan of soap, and I give it away. I literally give it away. Then I walk with my daughter to the neighborhood, and we sold a couple bricks so she can have some money. She made tremendous amount of money. Like I love my neighbors. I love the neighborhood. They were so supportive. Um, and then I did a couple bricks, and I was like, you know what? Let me bring this to the gym, see what's gonna happen, what the people are gonna say, and just give it away. Crazy amount of soap with that was created with the money I didn't have. That's also one of those things.
Yeah.
And response from some of the people were like, is this gonna be your thing? Are you gonna sell it? This thing's amazing. Like, doesn't dry the skin. It helped my daughter, it helped my son. So I was like, you know what? Let me do another batch. Let me see if I can, do a couple things better. So I was looking for the most organic things. Even my fragrance is organic, so there is no chemicals. I'm making sure that everything is on point. Um, and saying that, I do not have crazy amount of profit. All of those things cost arm and leg,
Oh yeah.
and I still want to keep this affordable. I don't want to be another company who just jump. My soap is so great. I want you to pay $15 for it. Like who can afford $15 every single, I don't know, two
Yeah.
weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
That's a little bit too much for soap, in my opinion. So I was trying to keep everything low. Basically, it cost me my profit, but at the end of the day, I'm doing something better than just making money. And people love it. So anyway, I did bigger bricks. I got also there was testing with the fragrances, what people gonna like because everyone is picky. I went from flowery fragrances, exotic, fruity. It was crazy because you have to buy some amount of product. You cannot just buy the samples. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of waste money. There was one of the soaps, and it was kind of, in my opinion, it was crazy. The most popular fragrance, sandalwood, that you would say people would love it, right?
Yeah, you would think.
I I had 50 soaps laying down for 1 year. Nobody wanted. Everyone love it, but nobody wants to buy it.
Huh.
So, I was trying to find the fragrances that will kind of suit everyone. And,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
one of those things.
Yeah, it can be tough, especially if you don't have like a huge background in manufacturing soaps or candles or anything of that nature. Like it's a lot of trial and error and a lot of trying different things and trying to stand out and like you said, you had to give a lot of it away, just to get people trying it. How did you know it was working for jujitsu and for athletes in the gym? Like, what was the deciding factor, or were people using it when they had infections and it cleared them up, or what was the main issue behind that?
So, you know the old rule, you always have to look for the biggest guy at the gym, right?
Yeah.
So you have to find one of those and literally, um, I was lucky enough. I got a couple of those guys at the gym, and I was like, guys, I understand that you love to run enhancement drugs. I know that it's difficult to control your estrogen while doing some type of injections. How about if I'm gonna make your life a little bit easier, a little bit better, and you're gonna look better and feel better with the soap? Just test it out for 1 week. Let me know what you think, if you would change anything, and then we're gonna go from there. And the same thing with my other friend, Olin, the guy that I told you that I'm still afraid of this guy. He's something else. Um, I gave him the soap to test it out, and he's in a Martinez team in Philadelphia, so he got plenty of those guys that I also supply a couple soaps for them so they can try it out. And response that I have was like, dude, I'm clean. I'm not even having ringworm when all of the people around have it. No staph infection. This could be luck, but no acne, no rash, skin constantly moisturized. They don't stink. Nothing is going on, and no acne. So I was like, okay, so I got the recipe. Now I have to figure out, the sizes, packaging, all of that, and start, manufacturing. And this also took some time, crazy amount of money. Um, Also got burned on couple companies in the United States that claim they do everything in the house when they outsourcing a lot of stuff. And I'm really trying to go by some rules in my life, and I will always, always, always support local people. But when you're claiming you're doing everything in the house and I'm supporting you, and then I'm getting the package from Pakistan or
Yeah.
it's like, dude, just don't do this to me. Once you charge me double, and I'm fine with that as long as I'm supporting the local company because you have to eat too.
Yeah.
But don't outsource that stuff from somewhere else. And it's yeah. So there was a couple of companies like that I had to deal with. Um, but I think so right now I'm in a good spot. I got my own suppliers. I got my really good customers. I got a couple Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools. Um, Probably soon I'm gonna be dealing with National Guards. I know a couple people over there, and whenever they being deployed, they said they can get me in. So I'm gonna be sending them like a care packages so they can stay safe. So yeah, company is growing slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's me pulling people away from buying anything that is on the shelves of big corporation stores. Even
Yeah.
if you don't buy from me and there is another company that does something like I do, go support them. Stop putting poison on your skin and then be surprised that 20 years later you got some issues.
Yeah.
Like we have to walk away. The same with the processed food. We literally have to walk away from all of that. Keep it simple. Keep it like your grandparents were eating and whatever they were using back in the days. You know.
What do you feel like makes your soap brand different than other ones on the market that promote similar type of things? Like what's the main thing that makes you different?
I think so. The simplicity. It's only three ingredients. If you're gonna look at all of the other soaps, there's always tree oil, palm oil, coconut oil, this oil. How you can compact so many ingredients in such a small brick, let's say 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch and 1 inch thickness, and expect that those ingredients gonna do something to you. It's There is some specific amount of ingredients that have to be introduced to your body in order to work. And a lot of the companies, and I'm not gonna call out any company. I'm not here to build my brand. I'm here to talk about a couple other things, as you know. Um, a lot of companies do this drop shipping stuff that is freaking annoying because they're using the one company over the sea. They have the same recipe or a little bit changed recipe, and they do everything with the packaging, delivery, and everything. They're not really bringing anything to the market that got any value. They're just another company that use the same, drop shipping company. And I hate it because people being lied, people being kind of, misinformed. More ingredients doesn't mean better. Everything have to be at proper dose, and everything have to work together. That's another thing. Like you can use shea butter, let's say, with the coconut butter, or like you can some certain things you cannot mix, and you still see them in the soap industry, or you see them in the lotion industry. For example, I do have lotion that can help with almost every single skin irritation, even sunburn.
Wow.
So it's only goat milk and honey and fulvic
Mhm.
acid. Once again, I proved that three ingredients can make a difference.
Yeah.
So, like I said, simplicity, man. At the end of the day, it's simplicity. I'm not trying to become millionaire. That's another thing. I'd rather be known and have legacy of someone who changed the market a little bit, even if there's gonna be small change. I want to be known for someone who supported people when they really need it, and this is pretty much it. Like I
Yeah.
really don't crave, uh, you know, 5,000 square feet house. I do not crave 20 cars. I do crave huge community where we can sit down in front of the fireplace and just relax.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
simplicity.
And I want to talk about something that's important to you and also important to the mission behind Red Monkey and something that we've talked about a little bit on the show before, and that's men's mental health. And it's a true thing that men go through, women go through too, but I mean more focused on the men because there's a stigma out there for men that you got to be tough and you got to keep all your emotions in and everything that you're going through and you just got to deal with it and get through it. But talk to me a little bit about the mission behind Red Monkey and your experience yourself.
You know, depression is nothing fun or something that a lot of people can talk about. It will humble you. It will extremely humble you. I don't care who you are, and I don't care how tough you are. When depression gonna creep on you, you're gonna hit the lowest. You're gonna have the darkest time of your life, and I'm the perfect example of that. Um, the moment I created the company, I think so. It kind of also overwhelmed me going to completely different area, completely something new, while my partner, she was already successful, and you're trying to kind of keep up or be as successful or be even more successful. All of those things kind of put a lot of pressure on me, and literally one day I just broke down. I isolate myself. I start hiding from my family. um thinking I'm doing something good, thinking I would say, I wouldn't say maybe saving them or protecting them, but making sure they don't look at me when I'm hitting the lowest time of my life. And this and I would say it did destroy my relationship with my partner or my kids. Not completely, but for sure did some damage. And through this whole time, I kind of knew what I have to do to get better. But whatever demons you have in your head to that time, they will not allow you to do anything. They will make sure that every single thing that you're trying to do, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna do it. And like we talked before, we all have some group of friends that we love. They are really close, and because of the whole stigma, like you said, we're not allowing ourselves to reach out for help. We don't want to bother them. We don't want to put our issues on their head. We don't want to bring our baggage to their life because they're already going through something. And as much I do agree with this little bit that we shouldn't put more pressure on other people. At the same time, you have to call someone. You have to talk to someone. There is no way you're gonna win the fight with the depression, with the demons on your own. And medicating yourself with the antidepressants all the time to kind of go by the day, it's not the solution.
Yeah, or
You
even
need,
self-medication, right? You know,
yeah, like
vices.
yeah, it's you still need to have the guidance. You still have to have some type of help, anything. And as much I knew that thing because I was always the guy who was telling all of my friends, if you're going through something, call me anytime. And guess what? I didn't do it for myself. It's ridiculous. We live in the society when men's are not allowed to reach out for help because we shouldn't. We should hold everything in. We should deal with it on our own. There is no way. There is no way we can deal with it by ourselves. We need something. We need someone.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you said, you lost a couple good friends. I lost a couple people that I knew. I was close to losing myself too. So,
Yeah, and that's what's, you have a family and you got, people that love you, and to for them that have to go through it after the fact, man, it's just heartbreaking. And you see it, for those that are, gone now, and you see their families and everything that they're struggling with, and those memories that come across every year and around the holidays. And I don't wish that kind of pain on anybody.
yeah,
And I think that, especially, I mean, you start talking about MMA fighters and career paths, and maybe they didn't make it to the top, or maybe they lost that fight that was going to get them there, or whatever the case is. Then you throw in the whole CTE factor, right? And maybe they're
yeah,
struggling with some serious and realistic brain damage.
yeah,
And then you got a real serious problem. And that's what, you know I would like to see prevented in this world. There's too many good people in this community, and in MMA and jujitsu and all around combat sports, even boxing. Like, there's too many good people to lose that way. And it's not fair to the families. It's not fair to the loved ones. And I think that, talking about making those phone calls and reaching out to those friends. And I know there's a great guy in the jujitsu community, Chris Vickers, and he posts things all the time. And he has talked about his struggles publicly on the podcast before. And it's realistic, and no one's that tough that they're not going through something in this life. And open up to somebody, and maybe just have an ear open too, and you'll be surprised
yeah,
what kind of responses. And you may hear that your boy's going through the same thing, and just being there for one another. That's what this world is about, helping and being uplifting, right?
Yeah, and I think so we have to stop lying to ourselves. When someone is asking you how you doing, let's not play that stupid game, I'm okay. Let's not play the stupid game, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Just be
that's
honest.
true. Yeah, be
Yeah,
honest with
I'm
yourself.
yeah. Just say it straight, and if they're gonna try to help you out, that's awesome. If not, it is what it is. But at least you're not lying constantly. For 3 years, I put this smile on my face, went to the gym, trained people, went to work, and literally, other than my two really, really, really close friends, Olin and Danilo, who both hold me accountable. They all hold me fucking grounded for all of my mistakes, for all of uh, yeah, for all of mistakes, let's say like that. And I'm grateful for that. They didn't lie to me. I'm doing okay. They didn't lie to me. Everything's gonna be fine. They didn't lie to me about how much damage I did isolating myself, because I truly, truly didn't feel it that way. I thought I'm protecting them, when in reality I was protecting my ego, protecting my pride, I would say. I don't know. It's weird, but those two guys, yeah, I cannot be thankful enough. You know, and we need more people like that. We need more people who will help you, but they're also gonna be honest with you. Yeah, we cannot constantly live in some la la land that everything is perfect, everything is rainbows and stuff like that, because it's not. It's not,
Yeah,
and we have to start speaking openly about it.
yeah.
So
We got to have a community that cares too, and really, a lot of people do care out there, but we need to all like come together as a community and really be there for one another. And it's something that touches my heart dearly. Like we were talking, I lost a couple friends, and those guys mean a lot more to me than anything else. And you shouldn't have to go through that. And
yeah,
as a business owner, there's a lot of stress and things that come into play, and learning experiences and everything that goes along with being an entrepreneur. And sometimes that stress can get to you and start to attack you and defeat you. And depression is something that, like, it's like a blanket, right? it,
yeah,
it just drapes over you and you just can't get it off, like a weighted blanket. And
yep,
you really need someone to come and help pull that off of you. And that's kind of how I look at it. And having someone to have your back, really, right?
yep, true. But like I said, we don't have that. We are not allowed to have that, and it's kind of killing me, because I have two beautiful kids, a girl and a boy, and they amazing. One is playing soccer, he's extremely talented. The other one is doing gymnastics, she's also extremely talented. They're all a little bit cocky like their father, a little bit dickheads from behavior like their father, but in general they are really, really, really great kids, and I couldn't be more proud of them. But looking at the world right now, I hope so he never gonna experience. But if he will, is he gonna have someone to help him out? The new society is completely disconnected. There is no morals or values, there is no loyalty, there is no brotherhood. Each one of them is calling each other brothers and then backstabbing them. It's I don't know. We While we can, we have to bring back the old school, I would say, morals, values. Teach the young people to change, like change a little bit, start behaving a little bit different way. Like back in the days, loyalty was like the main thing. Like there was nothing above that. There was nothing. These days, they don't even know what the heck that means, being loyal. like nothing. It's crazy. Looking at the old school people who got raised by the parents with the belt or flying flip-flops,
Yeah.
um, we built a little bit different. And like I said, I don't want my kids to go to the same thing that I went,
Yeah.
or if they're gonna have to go through it, because I don't want to admit that, but going through that taught me a lesson, humbled me extremely, extremely bad. But I also believe that life, most of the time, life is happening for you, not to you. So probably I deserve that lesson, or probably this lesson supposed to make me better. It's still no fun. Still, like it's like one of those training that you don't want to go to do it, because you're gonna have your ass handed to you.
Right.
But it's a good lesson, and you're still not enjoying it any second of it, but it's a good lesson.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
true. What's some of the goals you have for your company in the future? What's some of the big things that you want to achieve in the near future and then even down the road?
so I think so. I can, like I said, I'm not one of those people who want to have 20 mansions, boats, airplanes, all of that stuff. I'm pretty simple, and my kind of main goal, after of course taking over the whole market of soap, because it will happen. Um, I was thinking about creating gyms that doesn't matter what type of sport you do, you can come and work out, and bring the old school vibe, old iron group of good people. No, you don't have to go and wipe every single seat that you sat on, not crazy rules. Just come and enjoy your life. And at the same time, um, I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm surrounded by a lot of farmers, and I would love to support farmers and at the same time provide enough of natural food inside the gym. So if we're gonna have to have freezers or something like that, or bring the farmers every single week, come to the gym, do your workout, grab the stuff that you need for your family, so you're not wasting time, and go eat something good. You know, we the whole lifestyle that's being presented to people these days, it's all about run, 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 run. It's difficult to find time for anything that will keep your health intact. You're going to work, after work you got kids, after kids you have to go do grocery shopping, then you don't even have time to what? To cook.
Right.
So you're gonna grab some junk, right? And this is how we becoming amazing customers for the big pharma. They
Oh
love that.
man. The
They
food
love it.
the food nowadays, I mean, come on. It is something else, right?
Oh, it's
Like I
it's
mean
all it's all
they're
plastic chemicals. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, forever plastics and everything, and then you look at like your dyes and your added chemicals, and then you could go as far as your seed oils and everything, and then you're like there's nothing to eat.
Can you
Out
imagine that regular potato chips in United States have more ingredients, and many times there is not even potato in it?
Yeah, it's
That's
insane to
crazy.
me. Yeah, and I mean you talk about like there's just so many things out there. Veggie straws. I don't think there's one vegetable in those things, but
Hey, but it looks good, right?
kids
Looks
love
good.
them. They got colors. They look good. They'll eat the hell out of them. So yeah, it's wild though. But the food and we're just, I mean, we've accepted it for so long now. It's like almost too far, right? With
Yeah, and this is another thing that I'm trying to do with the company, just to bring this a little bit back. Um, I want company that people, my customers, will stand by it. So I'm not gonna be hiring, crazy known people to represent the brand, because I know they're just here for the paycheck. And this will happen with the food industry. We're looking at those people like they are some type of authority, like they, I don't know. it's weird for me that NFL player, basketball player, soccer player, or bodybuilder, he's recommending drinking Coke.
Yeah.
Really? You, from all of those people that really care about health because you have to perform, you have to stay healthy, you just going and selling out for a paycheck from Coca-Cola. And I get it. It's
I
gonna
mean,
be millions.
Sprite was like the number one drink in the NBA for, endorsements for many, many years.
It's crazy. And it's crazy. It's those people would advertise even gasoline to drink if this is gonna give them pretty good check. And I'm not trying to be one of those companies. I'm not trying to be sellout. I'm not trying to lower my cost just to make bigger bag and cheat my customers. I hope so. My company by itself will set some new standards. Will set something that people will go by and be like, you know what? Maybe I don't have to make 7 millions a year, and I can live comfortable of 300 grand. Provide that money, spread that money between communities. Because at the end of the day, how much do you really need?
Yeah.
And all of the greediness, all of that rat race to get more and more and more. Being in construction business, I was lucky enough to meet all kinds of people, from poor, married people, extremely wealthy people. And I've met the guy through some other friends who was collecting cars. Amazing, amazing person. And we start talking after I did the first job for him. We start hanging out. The guy who was making about 100 millions a year, owning 20 cars, owning probably three, maybe five houses. The only time I see this guy smiling when I text him if he wants to grab a six-pack of beer. Can you imagine that? The guy have Lambos on the park on the driveway. He got Porsche, BMWs, huge house. He doesn't worry about the money. He doesn't have to. And he doesn't smile. He's not happy. The only time when he was happy, he was happy when I text him if we're gonna grab six-pack of beer or we're gonna go to his garage and play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Man, it's life doesn't have to be with all of those high bullshit. Doesn't have to be, so complicated.
Yeah.
Back in the days, we didn't have that, and we've been way happier, a lot healthier, and the life was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, it's wild. Everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses and
Constant,
everything that they
yeah,
see on social media. We were talking a little bit before the show. It's just a highlight reel of all your buddies that are probably loaded down with debt and struggling to make ends meet, and it's all these highlight reels of the coolest things they did or the vacations they went on, or and you start to create a narrative in your head, and like, man, they're doing so much better than me and they look so happy, and on the inside you don't really know how people are. And
yeah, and like you said, they live better than me. They're happier than me. We have to stop that.
yeah,
We really have to stop that. You are the creator of your own happiness. Doesn't matter how happy they are. You can make yourself happy as they are, with
yeah,
not with, without buying all of that stuff, without going for vacation every single year. Sometimes happiness also, once again, we're going back to simplicity. A lot of guys, I can bet you, a lot of guys in mixed martial art, communities and everywhere else. These days, if you would call them right away, right now, hey, dude, do you want to just sit on the porch? This will be one of the happiest moment they had in a long, long, long time. You know, small things like that, especially men, because we are simple. Jesus Christ, we are the simplest creatures walking on planet Earth, and even that we can do so much, we are the simplest mofos walking on the ground.
very true.
We can just sit, don't talk, hold the beer for 45 minutes, look at each other, look at the fire, and just enjoy it. You know.
Yeah, we're kind of like cavemen in a sense, like I mean we're not far from it, like we're very simple creatures when it boils down to it. We need food,
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
we need
But
certain things.
at the same time, if you're gonna look at it, I don't want to go too far with tinfoil hats and all of that stuff, because at this point, I don't think so. You got enough time to talk about it. Everything is frequency, and there was, I think so lately, I was even reading cool study that fire by itself got frequency that the men connect with it, and it's dropping their cortisol just by looking at the flames.
Wow.
So everything that is in the nature, everything that was so simple, everything that we never appreciated is there for a reason.
Yeah.
And
It,
what we replaced it with? Screen time. We replaced it with the TVs. We replaced it with and I do love games, I'm not gonna lie, but still we sacrificing so much time on things that don't truly hold any value. They don't mean anything. When we could be doing something else, and going back to mixed martial art, I love when people can stay on the training for 3 hours and have fun. It's just amazing. I got the same thing when I'm gonna go to the gym. I can sit forever because that's the time that I feel comfortable and it's enjoyable, and I'm far away from all of that noise that we don't need. So
I mean, if you think about it, time's the only thing we don't get back, right?
we can buy everything, but not
Yeah.
time. Literally,
Eh,
we can buy everything.
Yeah. So I mean, you can do a lot with your time, or you could do a little, but you all just have a limited amount of time, no matter what. Like if you look at like time in a bucket, right? And when that bucket's empty, it's empty. So
I'm seeing this right now. I'm 42, and believe it or not, when I was coming to United States, my main goal was to one day be in UFC, regardless of winning, losing, just to put my foot there, just to be the part of something that was just being created. And I think so many people knew that UFC gonna be huge. There was something so new, so raw, so caveman. Like if you're gonna look at
yeah,
that, we were going back to the caveman time with this, and it was enjoyable. Man, just life struck me, and look at that. I came when I was 21. I'm 42, and I didn't put my foot on the mat at all to all of those years.
yeah,
And it's a shame. And I'm not saying I would be someone, I would be great, I would be the champion, but the fact that love for training and doing all of that stuff on the daily basis was making me happy. Suddenly, I just didn't have time to do it. So you, like you said, you start chasing all of that money, you start chasing better life, you start chasing bigger house, you start chasing faster car, and then you're waking up, and it's like, oh shit, I haven't done really anything.
yeah. Life takes you in weird directions sometimes, and sometimes unexpected directions, and but it's all for a reason. That's your story and that's your journey, and sometimes you
Yeah,
got to take that path no matter what. So, because you were destined to take that path, and you,
maybe I'm still gonna fight anytime soon. You never know.
hey, anything's possible, man. Anything is possible. Like you see it all the time.
Even if it's gonna be 5 seconds fight. I still.
No, but Rob, it's been awesome getting to talk to you and getting to know you a little bit more. I just first of all just got to say thank you for being a part of this episode, and thank you for telling your story. I want to know, how do people buy your product, if anyone's interested in getting a hold of it or getting a hold of you?
Pretty simple. Redmonkey.shop, or put Red Monkey soap in Google, and I should pop as the first one. They can always go on Instagram, Red Monkey Fulvic, FULVIC, and stay tuned because we're gonna be doing great things. We're gonna grow. We're gonna have fun time building this legacy.
Awesome, man. And again, fans, don't forget to download Grapplers Talk each and every week. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere where you can download podcasts. You'll find Grapplers Talk. Also, check our Instagram page for any updates, all your new episodes, all that fun stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to our page. And again, thank you to everyone for downloading, tuning in, being a part of the podcast, and making my dreams come true with this thing. It's not easy to run a podcast, and we're I think 110 episodes in at this point, and very hard work getting to that point. But it's making everything work, and that's what it's about: forcing yourself to be a professional. And again, Rob, thank you for being a part of it. Go check out Red Monkey Soap. Follow him on Instagram. And fans, this has been another amazing episode of Grapplers Talk. This is Dave, and we are
This
out.
is Grapplers Talk.